In this lecture, we'll take a look at the introduction to cloud source repositories. So, what are cloud source repositories? Cloud source repositories are fully featured private Git repositories hosted on Google Cloud. You can use cloud source repositories for collaborative version control development of any app or service, including those that run on App Engine and Compute Engine. If you use Cloud Debugger, you can use cloud source repositories and related tools in the Google Cloud Console to view debugging information alongside your code during app runtime. If you're familiar with Git, you can get started quickly with cloud source repositories. For example, you can add cloud source repositories to a local Git repository as a remote, or you can connect it to a hosted repository on GitHub or Bitbucket. Also, from a local repository, you can use the standard set of Git commands to interact with the repository in the cloud, including push, pull, clone, and log. So, what are the features of cloud source repositories? You can create multiple repositories for a single Google Cloud project, allowing you to organize the code associated with your cloud project in whatever way works best for you. Connected repositories, so you can connect an existing GitHub or Bitbucket repository to cloud source repositories. Connected repositories are synchronized with cloud source repositories automatically. Editor support, because repositories in cloud source repositories are Git repositories, you can continue to use the editor of your choice to work on your code. For example, you can use things like Cloud Tools for Visual Studio or Cloud Code for IntelliJ or Cloud Tools for Android Studio, etc. Source browsers. So cloud source repositories also provide a source browser that you can use to view repository files from within the GCP console. Automatic logging. So cloud source repositories automatically send logs on repository activity to cloud logging to help track and troubleshoot data access. You can use these logs to review recent repository synchronization, repository access by other users, and administrative actions such as creations, deletions, and permission changes. Moreover, you can configure notification settings such that an alert is sent to you when an error is logged during a repository synchronization. Security key detection. So cloud source repositories offer security key detection to block Git push transactions that contain sensitive information. This feature is designed to improve the security of your source code. Enabling it is a best practice. And finally, a bit of caution around user data. So cloud source repositories are intended to store only the source code for your app and not user or personal data. So do not store any core App Engine customer data as defined in your license agreement in cloud source repositories. Otherwise, you could lose access to Google Cloud, as well as Google will not be responsible if there is any data breaches on your user or personal data. So let's take a look at the free tier limits. So as part of the Google Cloud free tier, the cloud source repositories offers some resources free of charge up to a specific limit. These free usage limits are available during and after the free trial period. If you go over these usage limits and are no longer in the free trial period, you will be charged according to the pricing on the table. So this is the pricing after the free tier limit. So obviously there's a lot of details. You can pause and take a look, but these are the basic things in terms of 5 project users per billing account. There are some caveats around this or rules around this. 50 GB storage per month, and then egress or data transfer of 50 GB per month is allowed as well. So let's take a look at the topics we are going to cover in the demo. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a repository in the cloud source repositories, and then we are going to commit the code for a small Python app from a local source into the cloud source repository. And then we are going to deploy this code to the App Engine, and then we are also going to redeploy it after changing the source code slightly in the local repository and then pushing it back to the cloud source repository. So that was a quick introduction to cloud source repository.